Terence Crawford has been ducking Errol Spence ever since Errol Spence looked like a maniac against Yordenis Ugas. At least that's what the other side of the YouTube boxing spectrum is saying. Certain people are saying, well, where's Terence Crawford? How come he's been relatively low key? He hasn't been talking about big fish. He hasn't been saying he wants to fight. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? They've been trading memes for like 4 or 5 days now. Where they getting this whole thing that Terence Crawford is ducking Errol Spence? Where's that coming from? And this, these people are also saying they still harping on this whole thing, why he wasn't at the fight. Let me touch on that real quick, on why he wasn't at the fight. They're saying that first it came out that he wasn't going to the fight because he was going to watch his other fighters fight, like Keyshawn Davis. So then you see video of Bud reacting to the Errol Spence beating of Yordenis Ugas, and he's sitting on the couch with Keyshawn Davis. So then that's what, that gave them fuel to say, well, look, obviously he wasn't training, he wasn't watching his fighters fight. Why the fuck was he why was he sitting on his ass watching Errol and Ugas when he should have been training with Keyshawn Davis or whatever they said he was doing, watching his fighters fight or whatever. Then they saying he was going round for round. So if he was going round for round tweeting, how was he training and watching his fighters fight? I don't know. Maybe you can do both in between that, can't you? Can't you watch fights and still tweet? That's what people do all the time, right? People do that all the time. Fighters that attend fights, they tweet while they're watching the fucking fight. You can train, you can spar, take times in between. Oh shit, there's a fight coming. They're fighting. Let me comment on that. Let me tweet that. Oh, he's looking good. He's looking good in the ring. Oh, he's looking bad, or whatever the case is. The world don't stop because you're training or because you're watching somebody fight. And the Errol Spence fight was late. So that would explain why he's sitting on the couch with Keyshawn Davis and his crew around. He's not fighting. His fighters are not going to be like main events, headlining fights going into 12 a.m., 11:30 p.m. No. So where this whole thing that Terence Crawford is ducking Errol Spence come from, I don't know. And here's the icing on the cake. They're saying he didn't show up to the fight for those reasons, but I believe he didn't show up for those reasons, and also because it would have been a lot of static going on in there. The atmosphere was already crazy in there. Some of them even said it. Go over there and check some of their fucking channels out, and they said, well, I don't think it was wise if Bud would have came because something crazy could have popped off. Like, who knows? But with that aside, the biggest thing that certain people are saying is, why hasn't he signed the contract? So why hasn't Bud said send the contract? This is word for word what this motherfucker was saying. And my question to him and whoever else that believes that shit is, what fucking contract? What contract? See, when Errol was silent or Errol didn't show up to certain things, it was a good reason, right? It was always a good reason. When Terence Crawford, he doesn't show up certain places, or he's not as action as forceful as you might usually see him, then he's ducking. So they're saying Terence Crawford is ducking Errol Spence. But I'm like, what contract? You motherfuckers act like you dudes are there in the you are sitting in the PBC's offices and you understand, the contract is ready to go, and you acting like they sent it. The way they're telling it is like they sent the contract to Terence Crawford and he ain't signing it. And then they're saying, well, he didn't sign the contract with the 2-fight deal thing, which first I'm hearing it was a lie. Now they're still harping on it. saying that it was a 2-fight deal. He don't want to sign it. He didn't want to sign it until after Ugas and Spence fought. So they like, oh, the contract was already ready. So Ugas already fought Spence. Why he ain't signed it yet? Well, first of all, that's not what I'm hearing. Secondly, you don't know what he signed. Because from what I'm hearing, and I'm going to do a little bit more research into this. From what I'm hearing, the fight date is sometime in September. I don't know for sure. This is what I'm hearing. And I was saying this though. You know, I was, when I was trying to be optimistic about this fight, I kept saying this fight is gonna happen like September. I said this like a year ago. It's gonna happen like September 2022. I'm gonna repost that on my community board, so y'all check that video out. I think I made like a couple of videos about that. I want y'all to check those out. But anyway, this whole narrative that Terence Crawford is ducking Errol Spence is just hogwash. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Have you not seen these dudes going at it? You know what I mean? At this point, the reason why a lot of people have been saying Errol Spence has been ducking Terence Crawford is because there was a lot of back and forth. He was being very dismissive at certain points. And I understand that he had other fights in front of him, but you know, the way he was acting towards Bud, he could have easily said stuff like, yeah, look, I'm gonna beat these motherfuckers, and I'm definitely coming to smash Terence Crawford. But he said little subtle things. He would be like, yeah, ain't nobody avoiding Terence Crawford. I'm gonna take his belt. I'm gonna be honest, I have heard him say that. He's definitely said it, but he didn't have the energy that he's having now. So maybe it was because he was trying to stay focused. Probably, I don't know. But even now, even though they're saying the fight is September, sometime around September, until we see him and Bud in the ring, we can't fucking take nobody's word for, serious, man. We can't. Because there'll be one thing, Errol's out there saying all of this stuff, and then the suits is trying to fuck it up, throw Keith Thurman in the mix. I'm hearing also that people are still talking about Keith Thurman. He shouldn't even be a factor right now. He shouldn't even be a factor. So let's watch this thing very closely. But this whole thing about Terence Crawford ducking Errol Spence is bullshit. It's bull. All right, so y'all stop saying that over there. I know y'all gonna keep saying it. On that side of the fence, they're gonna keep saying it. They're gonna keep harping on it. It's bull crap. What contract, bro? Like, y'all act like y'all know what's going on. Y'all don't know what the fuck is going on. Y'all don't know. He could have signed the contract already. Shit could have already been drawn up. They could have already been. I think, man, it's a slight possibility that they've been all gang. They've been ganking us, man. We don't know. These motherfuckers could have already had this shit ready to go months and months ago, and we just don't know it, man. We just was feeding into it because, it's crazy. We helped build these fights. You know what I mean? When even the Aerosexuals, we all help build these fights, man. We pushing. And we supporting our guy and all of that. We help build these fights, in a sense, So we are the promoters. We're doing promotion for these motherfucking fighters, and for free almost sometimes, Besides the Google or the Cash App, Snap, the power. What's it called again? The super chats and all of that. But I'm talking about we ain't getting paid from these motherfucking PBC and none of these guys to push their fighters, but maybe one day that'll change, right? Wouldn't that be dope? That if we get up here, we talk about our guy and our words get to mean something, just like when they get mad at us and say that we copy, they do infringements on us and copyright strikes and all this stuff. But what if the people that's the voice of boxing, they had to pay us every time we get up here and make videos for their fighter? That would be so dope. But anyway, that's all I got, man. I'm gonna catch y'all later. This is Rebel Life Boxing. Like, subscribe, support the channel for more raw content. I'll catch y'all later, and I'm out.